Testing, 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 testing.
Marcus Speaks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Why do I look like that? Hold on. Started blending All right, there we go. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Live, the only podcast that gives you trending topics and a whole bunch of other random shit. So, with that being said, I would like for everyone to pay attention to the lower third and as well as the scrolling ticker at the bottom. Scrolling ticker gives you a lot of stuff that I don't talk about anymore as far as me presenting stuff. So read over that right now. It is starting over. And please, if you could, like this video, share this video if you could to your social medias, and subscribe if you are new here. Hit that bell icon to all. And do not be shy. Write something in the private chat, because in the private chat, I have something that is pinned over there. It is basically stating, if you would like to come up and talk to me, you can just by hitting the link. And if you want to hit the link, there are a few rules, all right? Those rules are, rules number one, must be on camera at all times. If you are not, then I don't know what to say to you, because I'm just going to kick you off. But you must be on camera at all times. If you are not, I won't get to you. There's a question back here, all right? Letting you know if you would like to come up, just answer the question back here. Just let me know if you do or do not want to be on camera. All right, that's very important. Now, if you don't want to be on camera, that is fine, because that's rule number two. You don't have to. All right, you don't have to be on camera to the public, but you do have to be on camera back here once you come back. Because, like I said, if I don't see who I'm speaking with, you're not coming up. So do yourself a favor, leave your name and your name that's over top of your screen, and as well, give me your answer, and then I'll accommodate you from there, all right? And rule number three is, please silence all background noise. I'm trying to run at least a semi-professional podcast here, so I don't want to hear nothing that's going on in your background. So turn your TV off, turn me off, tell your dog to shut up, tell your kids to be quiet. All right, I don't need any extra added foolishness. All right. Now, with that being said, if you could, like this video again, share this video, and subscribe if you are new here. And do me a favor, please go to my YouTube channel, Marcus Speaks, the one that you are on now. So it's right there on the lower right-hand side, or left-hand side, sorry. Go and subscribe to that, hit that bell icon to all, and also, just in case things get spicy, go down to the description box to the Rumble link. Go and subscribe to my Rumble channel. Just in case things get spicy over here, we can just go right over to Rumble, and we can keep talking and keep this conversation going. Right? Now, with that being said, I'm excited to be here at right now. But right now, I would like to tell you about something. If you guys have ever watched my show, you know I like showing videos. But the only way I can do that is if I follow what is called the YouTube policies and guidelines. Also, I have to follow the law. So if you guys don't know what fair use is, I'm about to tell you right now what it is.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning: federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
All right. So, you guys are in for a good show tonight. Now, the reason why I say that is because of this reason. We all know about, Tariq Nasheed, and we all know when it comes to him and, his race baiting and all this other crazy stuff that he likes to do on his free time. But if you guys don't know what's been happening with him quite, you know, within the past, say, few months, Tariq Nasheed has been very busy. As you know, believe if it wasn't in 2022, it was in 2021. He set out a goal to get $1 million to open up a museum in LA, and he got over what he asked for. Now, a lot of people made fun of Dr. Umar Johnson for that very same reason. He set out a goal to get $2 million, and everyone jokes and says, "Well, he ain't got no school yet. When is school opening up?" Well, a lot of people ask, when was the museum, or should I say the Struggle Museum, going to open up? And it opened up, I believe, the beginning of this month. And, there's a lot of things going on with that. So, tonight's overview for tonight's main topic is Tariq Nasheed's grand opening of the Struggle Museum. Y'all might be asking me, Marcus, why are you calling it a struggle museum? This is the reason why. Let me show you in just a second of why I call it the Struggle Museum. That is why. This museum sits, I believe, on a street, Jefferson and whatever the fuck, in Los Angeles, and it's a small nook of a place. Kind of looks like a bar, if not a lounge. But let's see. Let's get some insight of what it all looks like on the inside before I start calling it a struggle museum. Here we go. There's some music playing in the background that I'm not trying to get flagged for. So as you see, this is the museum. It's the whole museum. So they got Vivica Fox. I believe music isn't playing at this point.
Congratulations, brother. Thank you so much for having the courage, for having the vision to bring our history to the hood. Okay. Brother, Charlie Earl, turn that ring on. We're about to show the movie, but before we show the movie, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta bring our brother up who's in the movie. Yes. This is my master teacher, your master teacher. Yes. I don't do movies without this brother. He's so thorough. I've always said that this brother here is the heart of the Hidden Color series. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to have y'all give a nice round of applause for Brother Kaba. Peace, family. Wow. Y'all look magnificent. Foundationally, black cats. Because the first human beings that came to this hemisphere over 100,000 years ago were black. The people that we today call indigenous people are the fifth migration of human beings that came to this country. And they are known as the Asian migration. And they sort of kind of changed the way the look of the people, but the base of the indigenous people is African. The base of Chinese people is African.
I went over that with y'all before. Told y'all about the San people. That is in, I believe it's South Africa. The San people resonate at. They were the ones who migrated over to Asia, and the rest is history. All right. If you look at a San person from I forgot what country they're in, but well, not country, but I forgot. Well, they're in not West Africa, in South Africa, and if you look at them, if you look up the San people, SAN, if you look them up, they look exactly, or Asians look exactly like them. All right, let's keep going.
Base of the human family is African. And then when Africans got their show together, then they took it on the road and people the planet.
All right, so that's the end. All right, so as y'all know, I like doing videos. I actually like showing pictures too. So let's get to it. So while the rain stormed down all day in the Jefferson Park area of Los Angeles, it could not dampen the excitement of the grand opening of the Hidden History Museum of Black Culture this past weekend. So various actors and celebrities such as Vivica A. Fox, which you can see here with Tariq Nasheed. It's not really a good picture of him, but you guys know who they are, and hundreds of other people were on hand to celebrate the opening, founded by Tariq Nasheed, as you see him right there and right here. So, an award-winning documentary film producer and New York Times best-selling author, the Hidden History Museum is a museum that highlights current and past historical Black figures, from freedom fighters to inventors, master teachers, to founding pioneers in Black California, as well as hip hop culture on the West Coast. One example of this is an exhibit that looks at the naming of the state California, which was named after Khalifa, a Black queen who was a Black Moor. The Spanish writer Garcia Rodriguez wrote the novel in 1500, and although Khalifa was a fictional character, when Juan Rodriguez Cabrilla founded it in 1542, he named the area after the character in the novel. Stories like this are featured in the museum, and it's needed, said Utopia Hammond, a San Francisco resident who came to the grand opening. People need to know our Black history, and this museum features things and people that aren't normally talked about and or featured in other museums. People came from all over the country for the grand opening. They also got to watch the premiere of Nasheed's new documentary film, Black Maroon. All right. What looks at the Black Maroons who fought several Indian wars against the United States just before the Civil War. The show of support for the museum for Black people across the country was sparked by Nasheed in 2001, when he decided there needed to be a Black museum in Los Angeles that focused on stories that weren't told. I decided to start this museum after I was driving down Crenshaw Boulevard and saw the people were using the site where Nipsey Hussle got shot and killed as a tourist attraction, said Nasheed. So you used it as a grift? Is that what you saying to me? Don't tell me that's what you saying to me. That you looked at how people were frequenting the site of where Nipsey Hussle got shot, and you decided to grift to the point to where you was like, you know what, I'm gonna open up a museum down the street or across the street. Like, come on now, like, why do that? But also, I say this: I don't like Tariq Nasheed. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't like him. So probably all the FBAs who's probably gonna watch this or watching this right now, I don't care for him. I think he's a grifter. I think he doesn't really give a fuck about Black people. the way that y'all think that he does. To the point of it's like, you know, where were all the donors? If so, if they weren't there, or if they was there, if some of them was okay, but why didn't he have like a 2-night grand opening where the first night is when all the donors came, where he didn't put up the money for that museum, his donors did. So why isn't it that you did like a 2-night grand opening where one night the donors who donated money to the cause was able to see the museum for anybody else, and then you allowed your celebrity friends to come in after that, on the second night grand opening where they could come and see the exhibits the exhibits and stuff like that. And if not anything, why didn't you not why didn't you call Professor Griff and ask him for the number of the guy who has the mobile museum that hangs out with Professor Griff when he's out speaking? Like, why didn't you hire him or something to bring his exhibits through and stuff like that? Like, I'm pretty sure he has far more interesting things than what you do in that museum. Looks like he just has a bunch of statue heads and descriptions of who people are. That's all that it looks like. Anyway, let's keep going. So, on any given day, you can see crowds of people taking pictures in front of the memorial that was Nipsey Hussle's face on it, or the mural, sorry, that was Nipsey Hussle's face. Hussle was a popular and emerging rap artist who was just coming into national acclaim when he was shot down in front of his clothing store on March 31st, 2019. Which, if you guys don't know, my very first show that I ever did on this channel was that. I talked about Nipsey Hussle, all the great things that he's done and all the great things that he had planned on and stuff like that. It's a terrible video. It's my very first video on this channel. I don't recommend anybody to listen to it. It's bad, but the information that I give off about the man, it's worth watching. But I recommend nobody watch it for the simple fact that what's going on, GMS. I recommend it for the simple fact that that nobody watch it for the simple fact that it's my first video and it's terrible. All right, anyway, so he also was a local entrepreneur who pushed community development and owned an entire strip mall complex with a clothing store, barbershop, gas station, and fast food restaurant. His death was one that still saddens the Los Angeles and the hip hop black community. Even after his killer was just sentenced to 60 years in prison, the makeshift Nipsey Hussle Memorial and the daily scene behind it pushed Nasheed to create a place where people can see positive affirmations of black culture and tell the stories of black history that aren't told. Let's put a pin in that. I'm saying that's cool that he's doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see nothing wrong with that. He had Dr. Kaba Kabane come up and speak. No one really knows who that is. But I will say this. And I've said this before. I even said this on your show, GMS, when it comes to Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed's a fucking grifter. I'm sorry. He does all of this. Well, he used to race bait white folk like all the time on Fox News and other places. And he basically now it's like he's trying to divide black people globally. Like, although you might see some videos of like some African dudes talking about, yeah, African Americans aren't American. I mean, aren't Africans. It says it in their title. They're American. It's like, dude, okay, if that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. I don't mind. But this is what I also think. Tariq Nasheed spends more time putting down foreign black folks that are here in this country just trying to make a way for themselves for no apparent fucking reason. And I don't like that for the simple fact is that we have no time to be doing that. Like, if he wants to do that on his own time, that's fine. I don't see any issue with it. But what I find an issue with is this: is that this nigga's making money off of this grifting that he's doing. That's the main reason I don't like this shit. And the other reason why I don't like this shit is this other reason. We don't and this is the other. I'll get into this reason and go off of what I just said, that we don't have the time. As black people in this country, or African American, or Moor, or indigenous, or wherever the hell you want to call yourself, doesn't matter. But we belong to a greater diaspora than just America. We belong to, African greatness. Now, not all of us was kings and queens. I'm not going to sit up here and have sit on my soapbox and tell y'all we were great and all this. Yes, we was, but it wasn't all of us. All right. Some of us come from, slave stock in Africa. Some of us was sold off in Africa. Some of us got picked up by the nomads in the Middle East that now call Egypt home. I'm just saying, I'm not against anything that is taught about us. I'm not against this museum. I'm just against the man that fronted the money from donors for the museum. Now, I could degrade this man, say a whole bunch of shit about whatever. I'm just hitting the things of what I see. So whatever other YouTubers who talk shit about him talk about, such as Pan African strikes, or Pan-Africanism strikes back, Michi X and whomever else, talk shit about this dude. I'm saying I'll talk shit in my own way, but I'm not going to steal any points from them. But we see this any given time, if he's doing a Twitter space, if he's on his YouTube channel talking, just shit about black people from different countries who come here who try to find a way. Excuse me. This is the only thing. Well, it's one of the only things. This is one thing I don't like about Tariq. Tariq basically has it's like he has a complex when it comes to other black people in this country. More so, people from the Caribbean or people from Africa. Which I don't understand why he does that. Like, I don't get his points either when he gives his reasons why. It makes no sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to him and his followers. It doesn't make sense to me. For the simple fact is, you're basically fighting the battle of people who don't like us in this country. Like, any racist person hates everybody, right? Any person who says that they are self-proclaimed racist and they name off all of the races that they dislike, most of the time black people are in there. It doesn't matter where you come from either. It goes for all. So I've sat in on a few of his, I would say, lectures probably when it goes to wanting reparations and stuff like that. And I'll get into that in just a minute. And how he downplays other black people. And it's like, look, if this is the guy y'all want fighting for y'all's reparations, then y'all might as well give the fuck up right now. Because he doesn't, like, what knowledge does he have other than his documentaries? What knowledge does he have when it comes to us receiving reparations? You know, some black people do want reparations, right? So what information does he have when it comes to him getting us reparations? Of which, of what I've heard, this is only what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I've heard that the whole reason why FBA was started is because he didn't like the way that ADOS was being handled. So now these FBA rejects are basically, they go at ADOS, followers and shit like that. When in ADOS they have various people in their ranks that have certain knowledge, have been educated on how to receive reparations, although they haven't gotten them for us yet, but that's another discussion. But what makes this man the man that will take us to the road to reparations? That's just a question. I want you guys to answer it. Either you can answer it in the live chat, or you can come up here, hit the link, and you guys let me know. But let's continue with the article. Oh, before I go any further, I didn't do this in the beginning. All videos and all articles are accredited down in the description box below. None of this stuff is owned by me. I'm just reporting what I have. All right. So everything that I have tonight that I'll be speaking on and or showing you is all accredited for. All right. So he states that we need to create institutions that we as black people and or black groups own so we can control the narrative, said Nasheed. Controlling the narrative is something Nasheed is used to. He produced and directed the highly successful Hidden Colors documentary series, which began in 2011. And I like the Hidden Colors series up until Hidden Colors 3. Hidden Colors 4, that's when you start to see the shit change a little bit, where you see more and more celebrities talking or whatever. I'm not saying I have a problem with celebrities talking, black celebrities talking about black history, but I draw the line somewhere. Like, I'm not looking for Will Smith to tell me what the fuck black history is about. Like, I'm not looking for Will Smith to do that for me. I'm not looking for, although Nas is very knowledgeable when it comes to African American history, I'm not looking for Nas to tell me anything when it comes to black history. I'm looking for people who actually know exactly what the fuck they're talking about, such as Dr. Kaba Kabane, Umar Johnson, Shahrazad Ali, Dr. James Smalls, people like that. I'm looking for people who actually took the time to sit down, read, study, and shit like that when it comes to black history. I'm not looking for fly-by-night motherfuckers like Tariq Nasheed. Because I think we forgot. My camera froze. 1 second. One second, I'm still here, y'all. Hold on. Alright, here I am. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why this shit keeps doing that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, y'all must have forgot Tariq Nasheed's humble beginnings, such as, his whole Mackin series that he wrote about. I don't know if you guys remember that at all in the 90s, early 2000s. He had a book series called The Art of Mackin. Kind of like Sun Tzu's The Art of War, shit like that, but not really. I'll speak no more about that. I'll let you guys do y'all's research. But anyway, let's keep going with this article. So, this 5-part documentary series looks at Black history in the United States and across the world. It's one of the highest selling Black documentaries ever. It has been shown in film festivals and movie theaters all over the country. Millions of copies of the film have also been sold on DVD and Blu-ray. Seen on Netflix, Amazon, or Nasheed's own streaming service, FBA Stream. Now, I didn't even know this shit was on Netflix because I've never seen it on Netflix. Maybe I need a VPN to see it. One of the stories told in Nasheed's film, Hidden Colors, and now in the Hidden History Museum, is the one of Biddy Mason, a former slave who was known as the grandmother of Los Angeles. In the 1800s, she went from being a slave in California to becoming one of the richest Black women in America, despite being illiterate. She was a real estate owner and a major philanthropist, who was a pillar in Black Los Angeles. Nasheed spent just under $2 million to open up the Hidden History Museum, but I thought he asked for $1 million. He got like a little over, like 1,100,000 and so thousand. Like I don't know. I just remember him saying that he got over the amount. Anyway, half of the money was raised in a month by a Black grassroots crowdfunding effort Nasheed started using his YouTube channel, Tariq Radio, and other social media platforms. This also, with some of his funds, was used to buy the building that houses the museum. Now, let me read that again. Half the money was raised in a month by a Black grassroots crowdfunding effort Nasheed started using his YouTube channel, Tariq Radio, and other social media platforms. Anyway, this along with some of his funds was used to buy the building that houses the museum. The Black grassroots supported by my vision in this effort, Nasheed said. We wanted to have the museum over the Leimert Park, a Black district in LA, but when we tried to buy property, there was several roadblocks before we got to Jefferson Park. He looked at 3 different sites for the museum, including the historic Black Leimert Park area, and he was close to closing in on one of the sites. But when word got out it was going to be a Black museum, the non-Black property owners reneged. He was finally able to get a location in Jefferson Park area of Los Angeles, another historic Black neighborhood, seeing the efforts of rampant gentrification. It was great to see the foundational Black American community change the narrative and create this phenomenal project in the heart of the community, said Shamika Sadler, a Los Angeles resident who was at the event. All right, let's keep going. Hidden History Museum. We have a place where Black people from all over the country can come to learn about the history that isn't talked about in the dominant society, continued Nasheed. We will also have various events and different exhibits at the museum throughout the year, which tell our story and show the impact black people have made in the country and all over the world. Now, although what he's doing, I believe with my I don't have hatred for the man, but I don't think he's the right person for what's going on, what he's doing. Um, but this effort, I don't believe he should be the guy that should be the face of it. I don't think he should. This is why. I'm not saying he's too controversial for this role, because although him uh building this museum for the people, it's like, okay, but I don't have any plans to go to Los Angeles to see the site, not only go into it. Like I don't have any plans to be there. So are you going to be setting up virtual tours or something like that of the museum? Is there any way that I can see the exhibits without going to the actual museum? Is there a admission cost I can pay for the virtual part of it, if there is going to be a virtual part to the museum? I just want to know. I just want to know. I don't want to feel as though that I have to be obligated to go to this place. But if you hear what other people say about him, other people who's interacted with him, that might draw anyone else's conclusion about him. But if you don't find anything wrong with what he's doing, then hey, I don't blame you. But I will say this: Tariq Nasheed's a fuck nigga. Like that's just me saying this shit. Tariq Nasheed's a fuck nigga. And if he ever saw this, he'll probably be like, well, he got a struggle podcast and all this other shit, and what have you done for the black community? And I would say to you, what have you done for the black community other than some fucking videos? Where's the real activism? What? Where's the after school programs for misguided children? Where's that at? You'll probably ask me, well, where's yours at? Nigga, I ain't got the time. I work. All right. You have the time. I don't. So where is it? Other than that, where, like, you had donors, man. Like what you did this off of GoFundMe? You had motherfuckers donate on GoFundMe to your endeavor, of which you did. You did um bring out. You kept your word for it, as did Dr. Umar Johnson. A lot of people have issue with his school, but you know what what have you done other than videos, my friend? Like you've only done documentaries. With that documentary money of various millions of documentary sold through DVD, Blu-ray, and bootleg, what have you done with that piece of your money other than your endeavor of Mink Slide? Is that what your group is called? Mink Slide? What else have you done? You just did music and these documentaries. all I asked is this one question, and it's very simple. Show your work. Like, I don't have to follow you. I don't have to be one of your followers to see if you're doing well by the black community, which a lot of people got gripes about what you do for the black community. I'm one of them people. I need answers. If there's anybody listening, if you go to the top of the chat, there is a link to come and talk to me. If you would like to come and talk to me, there are 3 rules. Those 3 rules are: you must be on camera at all times. That even means back here on the backstage. If you don't want to be on camera to the public, that is fine. I will let you know if you answer the question back here if you would or would not like to be on camera. I will accommodate you from there. And 3rd rule is, please silence all background noise. Don't everybody jump at this at once. All right. As you're waiting, everyone, please like this video, subscribe if you are new here, hit that bell icon to all, and and share this video to your social medias. Is there any takers? Even if you want to argue, hit the link. If you want to argue about Tariq Nasheed and what you feel as though he has done for the community, hit the link. Do a favor while you also wait, please subscribe to this channel, as well as go to the description box, go to that Rumble link, and hit that link. Go to my Rumble channel, subscribe to it, because my next, I believe, 25 subscribers, I can start streaming live to Rumble. Well, nobody wants to come up, so I would say that concludes that portion of the show. But later on, if you want to come up, talk about it, you can. But we're gonna move on. So for the next portion of the show, I'll be going over some random topics that I found around the internet. And the overview for that is Chris Rock fires back at Will and Jada Smith on new Netflix special. 31-year-old woman pregnant by a 13-year-old, and a father of 7 says he doesn't want his kids. So how about we get into it? So if you guys haven't seen the Chris Rock special yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. Although it wasn't that funny to me, like he wasn't normal Chris Rock. Because everyone wants to know his take. That's the main reason why I watched it. It was for the simple fact I wanted to know his take when it came to what he felt about everything. I just wanted to know. So before we get into the video, I want to cue it up at that part that I needed at. So yeah, let's see some things that he had to say. This video is accredited by these 2 people. Hold on. Let me see now. All right. So, we will be watching their reaction to the video or whatever, because I couldn't find the actual video. So, this is what we got. We'll be listening to some of the things that he said during the special. Here we go.
Getting smacked by Suge Smith. Everybody knows. Everybody fucking knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. Fucking last week, I got smacked in the fucking Oscars by this motherfucker. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ear. Fucking drums, please.
Your face.
But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying.
That's real G.
You will never see it. Never gonna happen. I couldn't believe it, and I love Men in Black. No. It's never gonna happen. No. Fuck that shit. I took that hit like Pacquiao, motherfucker. I took it like motherfucking Pacquiao, okay? Shit, man. Did it hurt? Yeah, motherfucker, it hurt. And people are, well, you guys are fighting all the time. We're not fighting. First of all, I know you can't tell on camera. Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. We are not the same size, okay? We are not. This guy, Will Smith does movies with his shirt off. You've never seen me do a movie with my shirt off. If I'm in a movie getting open heart surgery, I got on a sweater. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. You think I auditioned for that part? He played Muhammad Ali. I played Pookie in New Jack City. Pookie, motherfucker. I played a piece of corn in Pootie Tang. Shit, even in animation, this motherfucker's bigger. I'm a zebra, he's a shark. What the fuck, man? But Will Smith practices selective outrage. Practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the fuck happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that shit. I didn't have any entanglements.
Well, but that business out.
I
mean, it's already out.
I was about to say it's already out. He put out nothing.
Already out.
It's already out.
I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, what everybody know, his wife was fucking her son's friend. Okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these niggas put that shit on the internet.
Okay. I can agree with that.
I had no idea
I can
why
agree
two
with that.
talented people would do something that fucking low down. What the fuck? That we all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us.
Okay.
It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel? Why the fuck would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? And by the way, he does that shit. Everybody in the world called him a bitch. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. Fucking Charlemagne called him a bitch, and the Breakfast Club called him a bitch, and the View, and the Talk, and every rapper, and the Drink Champs called him a fucking bitch. Everybody called him a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch.
As as you see, we're gonna play some more. I think I got like a minute and some odd seconds left, if not 2 minutes and some odd seconds. Why is he naming off everybody who called Will Smith a bitch that weren't in his face saying it to him? And not only that, why didn't you call him a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you call him a bitch? If anything, Will last year asked you to talk. You could have talked to him in private and you could have called him a bitch. But, you know, if you hear him say it, you know what I mean? I'm significantly smaller than him, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, come on, Chris. Like, y'all two grown ass men. This man, he apologized. He reached out to you and was like, you know what I mean? Like, whenever you want to talk, he's here or whatever. You didn't take him up on the offer. You decided to make money off of this shit, which is fine. Get your money. I'm not telling you not, because this is a very interesting thing to talk about. But I will say this: this makes no sense. Him talking about this amongst a crowd of people in Jada's hometown, which I don't think that they really like her like that, which I don't think that matters. I will say this. Chris has so much time to talk about this. And well, not so much time to talk about this. I would say he has every given moment to talk to Will about this, but he just decides not to. Like, all this can be squashed like at this point. It's been a year. Like, it's probably be a year sometime next week. And it's like, you know, he's perpetuating this in his stand up. You know, not only is it making people laugh, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you decided to be the bigger person at the Oscars, which was fine. And you decided not to stoop to Will's level. What is weird when, you know, it's your brother's coming out saying we about to fuck him up. Your mom is basically saying how horrible it was and all of that. But the person who got slapped is the main person not saying shit. He's just talking about tropes that's been not glossed over, but that's been all over the internet. Like, he's not saying anything new. A lot of us said this, that Jada is the one who slept with his son's friend. A lot of people been calling Will Smith corny and a bitch and all that. It's like the main person who matters in all of this is you, Chris. Because this is why I say this. So we saw through the internet last year that Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. We all thought it was a skit. We all thought that it was a skit that they had going on at the Oscars, right? Nobody believed it. Even some conspiracy theorists made up theories about Chris Rock wearing like a prosthetic on his face, and wasn't really a real slap. The way that he reacted, you know, all this other, all this crazy shit. But this is one thing that's not being spoken about. Chris Rock isn't being spoken about, other than it's terrible he got smacked, right? It's not terrible he got smacked. This is why it's not terrible he got smacked. Because instead of either, you know, pressing charges or fighting back or whatever, he did nothing. He rather for, you know, his family to handle it, such as his little brother. What's his little brother's name? Tony Rock. Tony Rock coming out talking about, yeah, that was a bitch move. You smack one rock, you smack us all, and it's like, what? Like, Tony, Will gave you a job. But how soon do we forget? Tony Rock, Will gave you a job. You remember the show you was on that was produced by both Jada and Will Smith? Yeah, he gave you a job. He also put you in national acclaim as well. You became known now. You're now Tony Rock. You're not underneath of your brother's umbrella anymore. But how soon do we forget? What y'all forgot? Chris Rock was also on The Fresh Prince, which was a national acclaim show. What gave Chris Rock some notoriety. We wouldn't really know who Chris Rock is other than in Beverly Hills Cop, 3 he was in. I'ma Get You Sucker in a bit role. He was also in a bit role in the Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'ma Get You Sucker. What else was he in? His various times on In Living Color. SNL, which nobody watches. Like, part of his career should be owed to Will Smith. I'm not being a Will Smith stan right now. It's like, I'm just calling it as I see it. Like, part of his career should be thanked by Will Smith. Although Chris Rock wore a dress in that episode, but that's beyond the fact. I just think it's stupid that he's doing this, and we'll continue with this video, and I'll say more after that. So let's get back into the video.
Gotta put emphasis on that.
Everybody.
That's from
And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit. That's what the fuck happened, okay? The fuck out of here, man. The fuck? What the fuck? I do nothing to this motherfucker, okay? His whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation. The biggest piece of shit ever. Okay? And then so the nigga gives me a fucking concussion. No, not Emancipation. I fucked up the joke. Concussion. She fucking said he should quit because Will didn't get nominated for concussion. What the fuck? What the fuck? So then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a fuck? That's how it is. She starts it, I finish it, okay? That's what the fuck happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit. Nobody was picking on her. Nobody was picking on her. She said, a fucking grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for concussion.
All right. So let's unravel that before I get into this this article, which makes no sense. This is why. Okay, yeah, Jada back in, what was it, 2016? Was it 2015, 2016? Came out, which started the hashtag Oscars So White. She basically was like, my husband been working hard his whole career, and we don't see enough black representation, when it comes to these award shows. So how about we create our own? We'll, start the black Oscars, whatever. Or let's not just go to this year's Oscars, right? She was just basically just laying it out, like like a lot of black actors and actresses always say, like they're tired of not being regarded as equals in these award shows. And despite what anybody else thinks, Concussion was actually a good movie, despite Will Smith's bad um, accent, his African accent of the real doctor. Uh, and it was a bad accent, like it was very bad. But it's like y'all gonna take one man's side because another man felt like y'all shouldn't be talking about his wife. Like a lot of people had this to say, right? If it was somebody else, he would have never smacked them. He would have smacked The Rock. He wouldn't have smacked Jason Momoa. He wouldn't have smacked whoever person that they think is, a strong person that they think would have punched him back, right? And I disagree. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. This is why. Because even if it wasn't Chris Rock, if somebody else did that joke, of which, we saw with SNL when Dave Chappelle hosted his last time. We saw that whatever he went over with the writers and the producers when he did his opening monologue wasn't what he said on camera, live on television. So I'm pretty sure Chris Rock gave a list of shit that he was going to say to the producers and the writers of the show, of the Oscars, but I'm pretty sure that's not what he did. I'm pretty sure that's not what he was saying for verbatim off of the paper of which he probably let him see, turn in, whatever. So if no one can look at it being unwarranted of him saying what he said to Jada Pinkett Smith, then I would say then allow a man to come up. Or allow a man to say something about your wife. Like I dare y'all do that. Like it makes no sense. All these excuses people are making. These are both two grown ass men. One didn't like what the other had to say, so the other man got smacked. So why is it that what I'm saying? Like we're going through the motions of him saying what he said. Like he said what he said. He suffered the consequences. End of discussion. There is no, oh, he's a bitch because this dude's smaller than. What are we, kids? If somebody was smaller than you and was talking shit about anyone in y'all's family, I'm pretty sure you would buck up and start fighting. If not, just doing what Will did, smacking him. And I'm pretty sure y'all would say something close to what Will Smith said. I'm pretty sure y'all wouldn't say exactly what he said, but I'm pretty sure y'all would tell the motherfucker to don't ever disrespect my family, my girl, wife, whatever. I'm pretty sure y'all would say that. So why are we going through the motions of, oh, it's fucked up what he said to him, and he shouldn't. What he did to him, he should never did that. Chris Rock is smaller than Will Smith. Like all these fucking excuses. I said this week. Matter of fact, no. I'll wait until the next video. So let's get into the article. So, Chris Rock didn't hold back as he publicly spoke out on the controversial Will Smith slap incident. Now I'm being real bad at this right now. So here we go. Here's Chris Rock now. So okay, here we go. That's where I'm at. Okay, so Will Smith Oscar slap incident for the first time on Saturday night. The 58-year-old comedian unleashed a barrage of blistering attacks on the 54-year-old actor and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, 51. In the final minutes of his Netflix special, which was called, I forgot to put the title up, but we all know what it's called, Selective Outrage. Nearly a year after Smith walked on stage at the Academy Awards and slapped him across his face. More than an hour into his set, the three-time Grammy Award-winning directly addressed the infamous incident as he referenced former rapper Suge Knight, who is serving a 28-year prison sentence after pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter in 2018. You all know what happened to me getting smacked by Suge Smith. He began. Everybody knows. Everybody fucking knows. Yes, it happened. I got slapped. A year ago, I got slapped at the fucking Oscars by this motherfucking, and people are like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. But I'm not a victim. You'll never see me on Oprah or Gail crying, he continued. No, it's never gonna happen. No, fuck that. I took that hit like Pacquiao. Rock went on to remark on their size difference, noting Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. Rock explained. You've never seen me do a movie with my shirt off. I got a sweater. I got on a sweater if I'm in a movie getting open heart surgery. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. Do y'all think I auditioned for that part? I played Pookie in New Jack City. Well, from what most people would think, that crackheads are rather strong, don't you think? Or am I just pandering at this point? Let's keep going. I don't think I have any other pictures for y'all on this. So let me take this down. Move on. Let's see. Okay, so I played what do you say? I played a piece of corn in Pootie Tang. Even in animation, he's bigger. I'm a zebra, he's a shark. Which is wrong. Will Smith never played a shark in animation. He played a spy and he played a fish, not a shark. And I forgot that animated movie that he was in, but I think it was like a Mahi Mahi or something. But he didn't play a shark. Just putting that out there. Let's see. So, Rock name checked his special title as he accused Smith of practicing selective outrage and referenced Jada's entanglement. And for people who don't know what everybody knows, Will Smith, his wife was fucking his son's friend, Rock said. The comedian then mocked Smith for his appearance on Jada's Facebook watch show, Red Table Talk, in which they discussed her infidelity. Which, on paper, it is an infidelity. On paper, it is. But they weren't together. I don't know if you guys watch my show or not, but I believe I told y'all that Will was seeing a young lady named Camille at the time. She had to be like 20 years younger than him, if not 10 years younger than him. But he was seeing somebody else while while Jada was seeing August. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and he also explained this as well in a video. He said that one day he woke up after all this shit that went on between him and Jada. He told Jada to go and find what makes her happy, and he would do the same. And then when everything was all said and done, they come back together and they show each other what makes them happy. So they have a fair exchange now when it comes to their relationship. Will doesn't like being in the mountains, the snowy mountains during Christmas time. And Jada barely likes going on the extravagant vacations that Will takes them on. But she goes because she knows this is what makes him happy and he wants his family around him as well when he does do these things. So I don't see anything wrong with the dynamic of their relationship. I just see two people trying to make each other happy the best way that they know how. That's all I say. All right, let's keep going. We all been cheated on. Everybody has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television, he said. She hurt him way more than he hurt me. Everybody in the world called him a bitch, he added. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him a condolences. He ain't he ain't pick up the phone for me. Everybody called the man a bitch. Fucking Charlemagne the guy called him a bitch. The Club called him a bitch. And The View and The Talk. And every rapper, they called him a bitch. His wife, a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. Everybody. And who does he hit? Me. Rock accused Jada of telling him that he shouldn't host the Oscars after Smith wasn't nominated for his performance in 2015's Concussion. So did I do some jokes about it? Who gives a fuck? That's what the fuck happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit. He reiterated, and Jada told that he should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for Concussion. Now, let me address that as well. This is why I want to address that. Because I believe that year, most of black actors and actresses boycotted the Oscars to the point to where that next year they started to allow, and do use that word strongly. They started to allow more black movies to be, put in topics or whatever. Although those black actors don't win that shit, but you don't see the same people. You don't see Leonardo DiCaprio all the time in these nominations. You don't see Tom Hanks all the time in these nominations. All that Jada was looking for was more diversity, right? Although that's a bad word to say, but I'm saying like that's all she was asking for was diversity. That's all she wanted. And that's what some of the black actors and actresses also boycotted the Oscars for, because basically to them is coming out tonight, but I'm not nominated or nothing. Like, why am I here? Like, I personally, I don't watch the Oscars. Like, it's not my tea. Like the Oscars, the Grammys, the Emmys, none of those award shows I watch. Like, it's, So that's all that it was. She just asked you to not go for the simple fact it's like, hey, a lot of us aren't going. We're boycotting. It would, with you, would be, it would look like we're all in agreement to this if you also not go. But he went, he has to kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he had to do. Plus, I believe that year he was hosting that year, I believe. So it's like, I don't know if they already paid him and he couldn't back out. He already signed the paper, the agreeance clause or whatever of him doing it and not being it, whatever he did. All I'm saying is that it just shows solidarity with your other black counterparts in this entertainment industry. That's all I'm saying that it shows. So let's finish up. So, and then this nigga gives me a concussion. He quipped. Rock recalled how much he previously admired Smith's music and movies, saying that he loved him. I've rooted for Will Smith my whole life, he said, and now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whipped. The comedian was referencing to Smith's 2022 Apple Plus movie, in which he plays a slave. But he doesn't just play a slave, he plays a significant slave. Which I never thought I would say something like that, but he plays a very significant slave. We've seen this picture throughout our lives. If you guys never seen the picture, then I don't know where the fuck you been. But the famous slave where you see with all the welt marks on his back, right? We've seen that picture all of our lives. He played that person. He played that exact person. So just to call the character that he played as just a slave, he also fought in the Union Army. I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but I'm just saying, during the time, if you guys know American history, and I spoke about this a few weeks ago, the South wanted to get the fuck away from the North. So they basically said, look, we're going to basically publicly divorce y'all for the simple fact is that business is booming down here. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got our slaves. Slaves is picking us cotton, the sugar cane, all this other shit. We making money. Why would we give that up? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's stupid. So y'all can do what y'all want to do, and we're going to do what we're going to do. And then, you know what I'm saying? Abraham Lincoln was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to war with them. So that's what kicked off. Well, it's more things than that, but that's what kicked off the Civil War here in America. So finishing up, in the closing moments of his show, Rock explained why he didn't physically retaliate after being slapped by Smith. A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing? How come he didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why, because I was raised. You know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever, but I'll take his parents' word for it. But I want to make a statement about this after this video, or at a point of this video. So let's go.
Welcome back to the Big Sunday Show. Chris Rock is getting the last laugh after that now infamous slap at the Oscars last year. The comedian takes a shot, or several, at Will Smith, his wife Jada Pinkett, and victimhood in general on his new Netflix special. Watch this.
Y'all know what happened to me, getting smacked by Suge Smith. People like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying. And people are, well, you guys are fighting all the time. We're not fighting. First of all, I know you can't tell on camera. Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. We are not the same size, okay? Will Smith practices selective outrage. Practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any entanglements. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised.
That's pretty. You got to give hats off to our producers for putting together that.
And Fox News ain't shit for that. Do y'all see the still that they use for Chris with his eyes bucked? Fox News ain't shit. Let's keep going.
A Chris Rock special that we could actually air on television. It's pretty amazing. But you know, it is, and it's also kind of. I love that he sort of goes after everything, not just Will Smith, but also the fact that, you know, obviously the slap was very real, but the outrage was not. And he's still willing to laugh about it. Kat, you have a book coming out next month about the importance of laughing about things.
Yes, April 18th. Can't joke about that. Pre-order it wherever books are sold. I do. I write
Did
a whole
I set that up for you?
Thank you. Yeah. I write a whole chapter where I kind of start with what happened here. The whole book is about the importance of laughing at things that are difficult in the way that makes them easier and brings us together, all of us as humans. But this, and specifically this slap, it goes along with this whole words are violence mentality, where people have been saying that for years and years. Words are violence, words are violence. And if that's really true and you believe that, then violence is an appropriate response to words, because violence is an appropriate response to violence. And we actually...
Now, I'm glad that she said that, because then that proves my point of what I've been saying. Will didn't like something that he said. Will didn't like what Chris Rock said about his wife. So Will Smith retaliated by doing what he did. Now, let's take it a step further, right? So if Chris Rock said what he said about Will's wife, and I guess y'all expect Will not to do anything about that because, you know, his wife cheated on him or whatever, and, you know, we're not in their marriage, so we don't know, you know, what they got going on. But I will say this. Will Smith did what he had to do as a husband. And with that, Chris Rock didn't retaliate. So what did we see after the whole slap, right? Whoopi Goldberg brought this up. Whoopi said that this warrants people to go up to comedians and smack them as they see fit. What did we start seeing right after the Oscar slap? We started seeing Patreon goers at comedy shows get on stage and try to hit comedians. Some of them were successful, such as the guy who tackled Dave Chappelle when he was in LA at that show he was doing, that Netflix show he was doing. So if that happened and a few others happened as well, then it's not Will Smith's fault for smacking Chris Rock. It's Chris Rock's fault for not defending himself. And this is why I say that. Chris Rock warranted goers at comedy shows to think that it's okay to hop on stages at comedy shows and hit comedians at shit that shit that they didn't like what they were saying in their comedy sets. He warranted that. He allowed that to happen. Chris Rock did. So you had a lot of other comedians talking about, you better not hop on stage while I'm on stage because I'll beat your ass. And it's like, well, you can say that, you know, but we already saw one go down. Although that person got his ass whooped, you know, not saying that won't happen, but Chris Rock allowed this shit to happen. He didn't defend himself. Or he didn't take any type of, legal means, he didn't sue him. He didn't, get him arrested or anything. So it is Chris Rock's fault that he got smacked. Because, Chris had his hands behind his back and shit like that. He got hit. And it's like, was it warranted? Yeah, it was warranted. Because I say this all the time, man. Like, we don't know with Jada's alopecia, we don't know if she cries every night or was crying when she found out about it. We don't know how Will has to console his wife when it comes to this. We don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of their relationship when it comes to it. Excuse me. So, to me, there's a lot of people making assumptions about somebody's relationship that we don't know about. Like, people call him a bitch, call Will Smith a bitch for allowing Jada to cheat on him. Well, it wasn't up to him because they wasn't together. What else? And to this day, I call it smart for them doing that because let's say that they didn't do the red table talk. Then you got a whole bunch of people on The View to Talk. Oh, what's that one show that all the other girls is on? That was it Tamara's on, and Lonnie Love. I forgot what that show's called. But then, you got them talking about it and them making assumptions about shit. Then you got news outlets making assumptions about shit. And then what do we got after that? We have a whole bunch of motherfuckers just talking shit without having any info. A conundrum of foolishness. So, by them getting in front of this shit, once shit got out, by them getting in front of it, and them controlling the narrative, I guess it does warn other people because they now can't talk shit. Like, oh, well, they fucking said, well, what all was going on. Now we can't talk shit about it. Only thing we can say is that Jada's a predator and Will Smith's a bitch for allowing his bitch to fuck other people. I don't believe that's what happened, what y'all are saying. But, I'll take your word for it, though. Let's keep going. So moving on from all of that, I wanted to get that out. So moving on, our next topic in this random area, double standard. Woman accused of sexual assaulting 13-year-old getting pregnant avoids jail time. That's a loaded. That's loaded. So, hold on, wrong video.
New at 5 o'clock, a 31-year-old Fountain woman who police say had sexually assaulted a 13-year-old boy is avoiding prison time.
Prosecutors offered her a plea deal even after she gave birth to a baby conceived with the team. KRDO News Channel 13 Spencer Soysher joins us live from the El Paso County Courthouse where that plea deal was taken. And Spencer, the mother of that boy, is furious about the deal.
Bart and Heather, Andrea Serrano pleaded guilty to an amended charge of incest, though the 13-year-old boy's mother says that they have absolutely no relation. She said she objected to this plea deal when the DA's office showed it to her. Still, it didn't matter, and it appears Serrano is going to avoid prison time.
There's no blood relation. There should be no, incest charge being allowed.
Originally charged with sexual assault on a child, Andrea Serrano is avoiding prison time. She struck a deal, pleading guilty to incest only. The boy's mother is upset with that deal because police say Serrano gave birth to a child she conceived with the 13-year-old.
Had my son have been a little girl and this had been a 31-year-old man, they would be seeking incarceration which they are not. And I don't think that they realize that, boy or girl, this is going to follow him for the rest of his life.
KRDO is concealing the identity of the boy's mother because her son is a victim of a sex crime. In May of last year, Fountain Police claimed Serrano admitted to them she was drunk when she had sex with the 13-year-old boy in her car and then was carrying his child. The boy's mother said she told the district attorney's office she was not okay with this plea deal.
It's not necessarily uncommon.
Legal expert Jeremy Lowe says giving someone a charge they aren't guilty of is not abnormal.
Oftentimes there's plea bargains that get people to what's called essentially fictional pleas.
But the mother says the boy wanted her prosecuted too and believes a fictional plea shouldn't be offered.
I feel like she's getting a slap on the wrist for a crime that shouldn't be taken lightly. It's double standards in my eyes.
The district attorney's office would not talk with us about this case today because Serrano hasn't been sentenced yet. We did, however, speak with Serrano's mother, who says the baby is in the NICU right now and that they haven't done any paternity tests that would be able to prove that it is the 13-year-old's child. Reporting live in Colorado Springs, I'm Spencer Soysher for KRDO News Channel 13.
All right. Well, let's get into this article. So, a Fountain woman accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old boy and giving birth to his child will avoid jail time. According to arrest documents, Andrea Serrano, picture right here, claims she was drunk and high on marijuana when the alleged sexual assault happened in 2022. She was 31 at the time, and the victim was 13. Fountain police said Serrano allegedly told her therapist that she was pregnant, and that's what triggered the investigation. Because if you guys don't know, when you say certain things to your therapist that could be incriminating, they have to call the police. It's against the law if they don't call the police on matters like that. So just putting y'all up on game. According to the affidavit, Serrano said the victim looked at her like a mother figure and even called her mom. Police said the alleged sexual assault resulted in Serrano getting pregnant. She has since given birth. Serrano initially faced the charges of sexual assault on a child by one in a position of trust and sexual assault on a child. However, thanks to a plea deal, she avoid further jail time altogether. Thursday, Serrano agreed to a deal offered by the 4th Judicial District's Attorney's Office. She pled guilty to incest, a sentence that will keep her out of prison. After handing down the deal, the victim's mother reached out to KRDO. The victim's mother, whom KRDO is not identifying, said despite the incest charge, the boy and Serrano have no relation. She also said she made it known to the DA's office she wasn't okay with the plea deal. There's no blood relation. There should be no incest charge being allowed, the victim's mother said. She believes there's been a double standard at play, and had her child been assaulted by a man, things might have played out differently. Had my son been a little girl and had this been a 31-year-old man, they would be seeking incarceration, which they are not, she continued. I don't think that the 4th District's Attorney's Office realized that boy or girl, this is going to follow him for the rest of his life. Still, let's see. Still defense attorney Jeremy Lowe said giving someone a charge they aren't guilty of isn't abnormal. Oftentimes, there are plea bargains that get people to what's called essentially fictional pleas. Lowe said of the charge. The woman said her son wanted the suspect prosecuted too, and that a fictional plea shouldn't have been offered. I feel like she's getting a slap on the wrist for a crime that shouldn't be taken lightly. It's a double standard in my eyes. The fourth Judicial District Attorney's Office declined to speak with KRDO about the case because Serrano has not been sentenced yet. KRDO called a phone number list under Serrano's name and subsequently spoke with Serrano's mother. She said the baby is in the NICU and claims that a paternity test has not yet been done to prove it's the victim's child. All right, so this is one thing I want to. Well, it's a few things I want to say about this. Number one, ill. Like, like this woman confessed on having sex with a 13-year-old. That's disgusting. But when, like, as a dude, I got to look at this as a dude. So, as a man, when I look at this, I look at when I was 14 years old. Oh, no, I wasn't 14. I was 15. When I was 15 years old, when I wanted to seek a relation with my English teacher, Miss Martin, because Miss Martin, she was bad. Like, she was beautiful. And, although she wasn't into that, which, I was cool with. But you got to look at some situations when it comes to young boys. You got to remember, he's 13 years old, hormones is raging. He wants to do, but he doesn't want to do with a 31-year-old hussy. He wants to do it with someone his age. But I'm not making any like claims of like it's right. It's wrong any way you slice it. But we don't know the mind state of what she was in. They said she was drunk and high, but maybe that made her do it, but it could be other reasons what made her do it. But I don't personally think that that's what made her do it. Was I was drunk and I was high. There was nothing I could do. Because we gotta look at other cases like this. We gotta look at who remembers Mary Kay Letourneau back in the mid '90s when she slept with her. Excuse me, her. What grade was the boy in? 6th grade. When she started having sex with her 13-year-old student. Who remembers what she says? He was so persuasive. He just had a presence of him like he was a grown man, like he understood my wants and my needs. Although this woman was married with 2 kids already. This woman was married. But she would go down to his neighborhood, park her car in a park or an empty parking lot, and they would fuck in her van. They have, I believe, they're still together if she didn't divorce him at this time. But Mary Kay Letourneau is someone of the same caliber as Andrea Serrano. Maybe the 13-year-old boy, and I'm not saying that he did, but maybe the 13-year-old boy coerced this woman out of her pussy. Just saying. Let's take another case, or cases, because there's been several cases like this of older women, mainly teachers most of the time, getting or taking advantage of young boys. I can't name all the names off the top of my head, but just type that in. Teachers who've slept with their students, and you'll see a laundry list of what's in Google search. So this isn't uncommon, but it should be off limits to women that's Serrano's age, if not older, and in their 20s, that either, are babysitting or, teachers and shit like that. Just know you will go to jail for sleeping with your student and or whoever, your whoever, whose ever's child you're watching or whatever. Like, you will be thrown in jail for this. Like, I agree with the 13-year-old boy's mother. If Serrano was male, the dude will be thrown underneath the jail. Like, no questions asked. Like, no trial will happen. He will just take the plea deal, and then he'll be called to Chomo in jail and possibly beat the fuck up every day, if not, them taking his manhood from him every day. So I do feel as though it's a double standard on this. I do believe Serrano should be thrown in jail for this because it is disgusting. She did do something to a child. And any way you slice it, the boy's not a young man. He's still a child. He's 13. He's going through his adolescent stages, which he just started. Then he's going through puberty. So, you know what I'm saying? By her robbing his innocence from him is wrong. It's very wrong. So, it's plenty of podcasts I've listened to where some of the hosts been like, yeah, when I was 13, I fucked a grown woman, not knowing that they were taken advantage of. And then they finally realizing it on camera in front of their other co-hosts, like, damn, I was taken advantage of. I didn't even know that. It's like, yeah, dummy, like, they don't fuck with you like that. Like, anyway, let's keep going. I'm gonna move on to the next topic, our final topic of the night, and this is what it is. Hope you guys have seen this. If not, you are in for a treat.
Got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live, telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I don't want. And I don't give a what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. the bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Wait, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this and be like, black men this, black men that, I don't give a I really don't.
Well, shit. What is there to say to that? The man clearly says at the end he doesn't give a fuck about none of this. Now, let me piece this up. So, man goes viral for explaining why he shouldn't have to take care of his kids, right? So, I've heard the talks about this, like he's wrong and he should be wanting to take care of those kids that he created and all this other stuff. And it's like, but do you blame this man for thinking the way that he thinks? You shouldn't, because here's why. I'm not taking up for him. But I will give you some reasons why I feel as though that in his position, I guess he's right. I don't know. Let me see how I can flip this. This dude clearly, when he was sleeping with these women, found them attractive, but only attractive to the point to where he just wanted to fuck them. Now, he did say he had unprotected sex with these women, and it is a woman's responsibility to protect herself during sex. It's not the man's responsibility. Although it is a man's responsibility to protect himself, but it is both person's responsibility, right? So, maybe she could have had some female condoms at the house, you know what I'm saying? Just in case some shit happened. Excuse me. But this dude, he makes good points. He was fucking with jump offs. A lot of women that he, I guess, personally believes aren't good life choosers, I guess. I don't know. And he doesn't feel as though that, he should be taking care of those kids if in the beginning he stated, I don't want to have children by you. Now, I wasn't in the room when they was fucking, so I don't know what the conversation looked like. I can only go with what he's telling us. But I hope several other viral videos happen to where the mothers come out and say, we're the mothers of so-and-so's, the dude in the viral video talking about he got 7 kids. I hope that comes out so they can explain their side of the story. Because you gotta look at it like this. And I was very responsible in my 20s. I fucked with a bunch of jump offs my goddamn self, and I didn't get them pregnant. And some of them I was having unprotected sex with. But we gotta look at it like this. Every person has the ability to do what the fuck they want to do. It's called free will, right? But when your free will impedes on my free will, then there's an issue. Right? So since this dude is wow. Since this dude is going through the motions of dealing with these women and him having several kids by him, I would say personally, like on just the outside looking in, I don't feel as though he should be doing that. And I only say this because I didn't grow up with my dad. But I feel as though he shouldn't be talking about this on on the internet because then it makes him look like a deadbeat dad. Like he doesn't give a fuck about what happens to his kids and shit like that. But you know, um, like I believe that this dude is setting a bad example for other, but at the same time he's also setting a good example as well. So this is the conundrum that we're in. Not only is he setting a good example, he's also setting a bad example. This is how he's setting a good example, because he's showing younger dudes in their 20s, don't fuck with these types of women because you just gonna end up on child support and your life is gonna be a living hell afterwards. But also, if you stretch it the other way, why he's wrong, this also shows those very same young dudes that I can have unprotected sex, and if a bitch get pregnant, I can just tell her that I don't want kids, and then everything's over with. No, life don't work that way. You have to accept the responsibilities that come your way, and some of those responsibilities come in the form of life. So it's terrible that he thinks this way when it comes to having kids just out in the world running around all willy-nilly and them not knowing who their daddy is. Because, and I like that this podcast talks about this a lot. I watch a podcast every day called channel Craig Facts. One thing Craig always talks about is like mental disorders. One thing he starts bringing up a lot lately is cluster B mental disorders, which you gain during not having, or let me say it like this, not being equally yoked in the household. So if you grow up with just mom, just know you have a cluster B mental disorders in the form of taking on characteristics of just your mom. And nowadays most of those boys become transgender or gay or whatever. But if you look at it in the sense of having both parents in the household is actually a good thing, because we got to look at what Deion Sanders just said lately, right? When he said, when going out for scouting new players, Deion Sanders says that what we don't want is, for a quarterback and whatever, like we look for a well-trained, guy, who had both parents in the household that can take on the leadership position and stuff like that. Like, although people found some shit wrong with what he was saying, he actually was spitting some real shit. Because a lot of people don't see kids who grew up in single parent households as leaders. Most of them don't. Most people don't. So, although, there's several people out there who's been in the NBA, NFL, MLB, wherever, like that, grew up in single parent households that, lead great lives, such as LeBron James. LeBron James is the leader on the Lakers. He's been doing a very bad job at it lately, but he's the leader. But which I saw yesterday, they got what, a 30, what's their record, like 33, 34 to 32? Like, that's not good. Like, Kobe didn't even have it that close when it came to their win-lose streak, like, ever. But we gotta look at Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant lived in a 2-parent household. Michael Jordan, 2-parent household. Who else? Quarterback on the Buccaneers. What's his name? The cheating motherfucker. Him. I forgot his name. Tom Brady. 2-parent household. How many Super Bowls have he won? What, 6? 6 Super Bowls he's won? We just gotta look at the facts sometimes. So, in closing, I say this. Hope this dude comes around and he sees the error in his ways, because there are errors in his ways. By thinking how he's thinking, by saying, I don't want to take care of these kids because fuck them, fuck their moms because I don't fuck with them. Take the kids off the table. I mean, take the mothers off the table and just think about the kids, all right? So, with that being said, y'all, that is it. That is everything on this podcast. Y'all want to come up, y'all can. There is still room up here for y'all to come through, but if y'all don't, then that's fine. I will give you until, let's say, I've been on here for 2 hours and almost 6 minutes. I'll give you till the 2 hour and 8 minute mark, starting now. All right, well, nobody seemed to want to come up, so that's fine. We can end it here. So we can do it just like this. All right, if you guys are hearing my voice right now, I hope so. So yeah, man, tonight's been a good show. So what did we learn tonight? We learned that Tariq Nasheed kept his promise on creating the Hidden History Museum. It looks like a bar nonetheless, but I guess he went through with his word of having or bringing the museum to life. But I'll let everybody else go harder on Tariq Nasheed. I just don't like it for the simple fact that he a bitch ass nigga. And other than that, we also learned that Chris Rock feels as though that Will Smith is a bitch and he's weak and all this other craziness. And he'll never say that shit to his face. So, we can just look at Chris Rock as well as a bitch. Also, hide your kids, hide your wife, goddammit. Because there's going to be a lot more shit just like that. Stories at that coming out of adults fucking kids. I hope you guys strap in for that. Because I already showed you guys one story about this. This is the second story I've shared about this. Also allowed you to know exactly what a pedophile is. Go and look at my video, what you didn't know about pedophilia. Alright, and also, ladies, quit letting these broke ass niggas nut in you, alright? This is what you get. You get niggas that tell you, I don't want these kids, and then y'all get upset because they don't want these kids. Just stop fucking with them. Just stop, alright? Anyway, if you could, every Friday I do a game stream called Marcus Speaks Play. Right now, we are on the road to Star Wars Jedi Survivor. But right now, we are playing Kirby Return to Dreamland. So come and see me every Friday. Stream all of my favorite games, certain select few of new releases. And, we'll have some fun. Also, Saturdays, just like this, I do this here podcast, Marcus Speaks Live. So come and see me at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday, as well as every Friday too. And come and check me out as I do what I do. All right, over here being Marcus. Also, if you could, the links are in the description below for both my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel. So please go and subscribe to both of them. Do me a very great deal of service. So just in case, shit gets spicy over here, what I'm saying? We can leave YouTube, go over to Rumble, and keep talking about what we're talking about without getting kicked off the internet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want that because I want that. Links in the description below. If you ever want to come up and come talk to me, always hit. You're always welcome. I have that link that sits in the live chat every Saturday. So hit that link, come up here and talk to me, debate me if you would like to, because I'm not always, right? But when I am, shit hurts. So I got 3 rules that go along with that. Must be on camera at all times. Please, must be on camera at all times. If you don't want to be on camera to the public, that is fine. Just answer the question that is back here on the backstage. And please, if you could, silence all background noise. I do not want to hear what's going on in your life. And if you could, do me this one favor. Like this video, subscribe if you are new here, and share this to your social medias. Let people know what's going on. But before I leave you, I have to leave you with this. Make sure you focus on getting that money, because everybody knows money makes the world go around. Also, drink more water for health purposes. Make sure you stay out of other people's business for mental health purposes. And above all, don't believe what nobody says. Make sure you do your own research. I have been Marcus. This has been Marcus Speaks. And I thank you all for watching. And I'll check you guys out next week. Peace out.